So this is a question I have asked on my live multiple times, and I thought it's time I bring it to video to reach a wider audience, because this is a question I have for a lot of black men and African men, and I think it's time we start to answer these questions. And before all you red pill bros come at me, don't. I'm just not the type of person to dwell on the perceived flaws of our women without focusing on ours. I pay attention to both sides. And if you know me, I'm not a panderer. I'm definitely not someone to pander to or try to defend people who are abort black boys, calling me a bullet. No, if you know me, know who I am, the kind of family I come from, the kind of culture I come from, a tremendous self-respect. I'm not one to defend people who have known for hating me. This is not about black women. This is about black men. But I need you to answer this question. Are you ready? Now here goes. I want you to picture a scenario, right? Picture a scenario where a bunch of women are all hanging out. There's a white woman, regular white woman. There's a Jewish woman. There's an Arab woman. There's a Chinese woman. There's an Indian woman. There's a Mexican woman, a Filipina, a black American, and an African woman. So that makes 9 women hanging around, just hanging around, chilling, just drinking, enjoying the day. And then out of nowhere, conversation starts getting a little spicy. Starts getting spicy. The spice levels starts going up. And then out of nowhere, the white woman just gets up and is like, you know what? Y'all not going to do this with me. I'm white. Our men control governments. You're not going to play with me. Everyone's like, what? The Chinese woman gets up and is like, first of all, I'm a Chinese woman. Our men run construction. No, sorry. Our men run manufacturing. If you want to build anything in this world, you need a Chinese man. So watch what you say to me. Everyone's like, okay. And then the Indian girl gets up and is like, first of all, I'm Indian. Our men run tech. If you want tech and if you want anything to work on your phone, you want your laptop, anything to run, you need Indian men. Don't mess with me. Everyone's like, okay, okay. The Mexican woman gets up. She's like, Los Tigres del Norte. Don't fuck with me. If you need a roof over your head, our men run construction. Don't play with me. Mexican men run construction. You play with me, I'm a holla at Jose, and it's over for you. Everyone's like, okay, okay. The Jewish woman's like, I know you all don't keep your money under your bed, so as long as you got in the bank, watch what you say. Everyone's like, ooh, okay. The Arab woman is like, well, I'm sure you all need gas. Arab men, we control oil. That's us. Don't play with us. Everyone's like, okay, Arab girl. The Filipina is like, okay, I see what you're doing. Well, me and my girls, we have totally taken over the nursing industry. And have you noticed something? Our men are slowly taking over. In 10 years, none of you bitches can get a vaccine without a Filipino man. And we will all be housewives. So, checkmate. Everyone's like, oh, okay. So, black men, in this scenario, what have we given black women and African women to brag about or clap back about? Like, what have we given our women to brag about? What aspect of this world, what industry, what important part of infrastructure in this world do black men control? African men, the entire continent of Africa that belongs to us, what part of it do we control? That's my question. What do we control? And also, before you guys come at me, I know you red pill niggas again. Y'all gonna come at me on some, oh, we out earn Latino men, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Do you remember Ron DeSantis a couple years ago? Was it 2 years ago? Talking all of that shit about Latino men? Did you see what happened? I could just picture the scenario. Hector gets his phone, picks up the phone, calls Jose, is like, yo, Jose, hey, fool, you want to go somewhere? You want to go on a vacation or something? It's like, for vacation? You crazy fool? I got work to... I see what yeah, let's go on that vacation. The Mexican community, the Latino community say, you know what? You want to play with us? We're not going to work. It took 3 days. Ron DeSantis came back out and literally apologized. And it's not spoken about. That is what destroyed his entire political, like, that is what destroyed his drive, his whatever the hell you want to call it, as a politician. Because he came out hardcore racist and was put in a position where he was forced to apologize to those people. That was it. Ron DeSantis is over. Trump could not pick him. It was over for him. Every group of men in this country, or wherever you want to call it, they have an aspect, an important aspect of society that they control. Black men, what do we control? I'm not talking about our earnings. Yes, when you go look at earnings, black men, we do good. Regardless of what people say about us, the data shows we're doing amazing. But as a collective, what do we control? Music? Nope. Jewish men control that. Unlucky enough for a lot of you, we don't live in a world where you could just go walk up to a woman and take what you want. So the sexual prowess that we're known for, we're only known for it because the people who control it, women, give us access to it. What do we control, black men? I think this is a valid question, and my suggestion, I'm no voice, I'm nothing. My suggestion would be, let's take over the garbage industry. Let's control America's trash. In New York, I don't know about any other way. In New York City, do you know what it cost? At least in my neighborhood, do you know what it will cost to start a recycling business? $25,000, and that's on the higher end. $25,000 to start a recycling business. There's so many brothers in trash. Excuse my choice of words, but there's so many brothers in trash that make good money. Why can't we come together collectively? Why can't we? Imagine a world where, imagine in America, where black men control trash. We control the trash industry in America. Someone comes out and talks shit about black men, and we're like, oh, that's how it's going to be? Okay. And for 1 week, America's trash is not picked up. What do you think will happen then? I think every single politician will come out, get on his fucking knees and beg us. Because do you understand how quickly a politician will get voted out if their neighborhood starts to stink? But yeah, it's a very important question that we need to ask ourselves as black men. What do we control? And those of you who do things for women, what have we given our women to brag about? What have we given our women to clap back? Y'all can say all this, oh, we out-earn Mexican men, we out-earn them. Okay, we out-earn them, our women out-earn them. The women can clap back and say, if you want a roof over your head, I need you to shut the fuck up. What have we given our women to clap back with? That's a very important question we need to ask ourselves, black men. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Angela and welcome to my channel, Angie the ENTJ. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Today's video is going to be another piggyback on Pretty Black Magic. One of her videos where I saw her react to a video that we just watched featuring the dude that goes by the name, well, his TikTok handle rather, is Sewer Bum. And here's my angle on it. I have been saying for the longest time that the Dusties are going to attempt to join in on our side. Supreme has also said the same thing multiple times on the West 4B movement platform. See, they thought that black women swirling in divestment was their biggest issue. However, now women of all groups are joining the West 4B movement, or at a bare minimum, they are going #BoySober. I browsed one of Burb and Bougie's videos briefly, where she talks about women abstaining from alcohol. So the drink to the bedroom pipeline is drying up too. And on top of it all, we're in August of 2024. Women of all groups and backgrounds are on to the hobo SEXuals moves, and we ain't taking it, okay? And last winter was extra frosty. Ain't nobody doing 50-50 no more. Not to mention the fact that they are paying out of pocket for the things that their girlfriends and fiancés and wives were doing for free, that all that uncompensated and all that unpaid labor. They're having to pay for everything now. I see them in the frozen food aisle looking confused while attempting to figure out what they're going to microwave for dinner. Because, see, when they had girlfriends and fiancés and wives, they were getting multiple dishes of food created for them daily. They were getting their lunches packed. They were getting dinner served on a plate hot. They were getting that kind of stuff going on. Okay, now here they are poking holes in the plastic film, setting the plastic tray in the microwave for about 3 minutes. A grown man eating a kid's Happy Meals portions. So they're going through it. And on top of it all, many of the pygmies have turned ratchet on them. Like the one time I was at the beauty supply store, and honey, while I was looking at some hair products, I just so happened to overhear one of the ratchet chicks tell the cashier, "Hold on, I'm going to get my baby daddy to cash out me that amount." So she called him and said, "Baby daddy, you need to cash me $55.22. And when I heard her say it like that, I was like, ooh wee, doggone. She talking to Daquan like that? She didn't even call his name. She said, baby daddy. See, look, Daquan and them are all up on their podcast fronting like they got a handle on things, but I'm out here in the field. I'm out here seeing it in real time. Because, you know, the beauty supply stores are on that side of town, if you know what I mean. And Daquan and them actually got to pay to play now. So while the lady was waiting on her baby daddy to cash app her the money, she was still conversing with the Korean man behind the register. So she had baby daddy on speakerphone, waiting on him to cash app her. And while the two, the man behind the register and Pick Misha, or Ratchet Isha now, were conversing, baby daddy chipped in and said something. And you know what she said to him? She said, "Who told you to say something? You need to get that cash after me. You weren't invited in this conversation." And after she said that, she went right back to conversing with the dude behind the cash register. And then shortly after that, the cash app sound came on. I'm hearing all of this. And she said, "There you go," to the man at the cash register. And then she hung up on the baby daddy. She didn't even acknowledge him. She just hung up on him, paid the man at the register, and then got her stuff and left. So, you see, it's hard out here. And even the pygmies are wisening up. And many of them are becoming ratchet with these dusties. And don't get me started, because see, that's a whole another topic. See, while the pygmies were out here promoting 50-50, jumping on the dusty side and throwing rocks at us over here, talking about let him cheat in peace. You need to be his peace. Let me cater to you. Now that they have all these dusties on their hands, they got a surplus of them. Look at how Ratchet Isha, the former pygmy, is behaving. So back to what I was saying earlier about the video with regards to those of us women who are sensible. You see, the dusties are dumbfounded and they don't know what to do. They're confused and they are attempting to circle back to us. And oh, by the way, this is happening globally. Okay, this is happening globally because see, this birth rate is declining. Things have changed and they're trying to figure out how to get the comfort of women on their side all over again. This is globally. Even though I'm talking about the dusties of Blackistan a lot of times, best believe this is global. And they are trying to figure out how to circle back to us. This is why this sewer bum came up with a seemingly well-intended but ultimately childish scenario of women of different backgrounds who are behaving like elementary school mean girls and are basically competing in his idea over whose man is more powerful than whose other man. And oh, by the way, that continental African and African American women have no men to talk about in that way. Oh my gosh. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. Now, in defense of the continental Africans in America, he failed to mention how many of them are doctors, lawyers, engineers, and college professors, especially when you speak of Nigerians and Ghanaians. But I digress. And oh, I forgot to mention business owners too. Sorry. But I digress. And then to add to it, he made it about the women using their husbands' supposed domination of a business or manufacturing sector as a form of indirect power that the woman wields. The whole my power comes from and through a man instead of being powerful in our own right as women. You see, let me tell you something. Goldman Sachs did not give $10 billion to help black women progress if they thought that we got our power from the men. The $10 billion was given because they have witnessed a demographic of people who have been disadvantaged historically and how we have persevered through it all. That's why the $10 billion was given. Because they saw our internal power, not something that was handed to us or that we were wielding through somebody else. No. And the women of other groups often have their own thing going on as well that are independent of men. I'm just saying. The one thing that he did get right is that he aimed the accountability where it belonged, and that was towards the Dusties. However, here's the catch. See, what it did was have the women flocking around in his comment section in agreement with him, leaving their thoughts, giving their feelings. But let me tell you something. Here's how it actually appears. He's saying something logical, right? And these women are flocking because what he's saying seems to make sense. So their defenses go down. And if he does that enough times, guess what? We have an accountability grift going on where the next thing you know, the next new trend is going to be, it's about holding black men accountable in words, but not in actions. And guess what? All the women are going to be flocking around them. It's just going to be the same old grifting behaviors. And this is why I say so. Because what he failed to mention is that these men of the other groups that are so-called domineering everything that he named had to obtain some type of education, be it from a university or a technical school, or they had to complete some type of internship, apprenticeship, if you want to talk about in case of construction or, things that are more hands-on. And they are often certified and or licensed. So this means that they have to have a clean background, they have to be trustworthy, and they have to understand that if they perform poor work, they can be sued. So they have to be willing to be fully liable for whatever profession they're in. This is why I'm calling cap on the Dusties. He is not serious. This sewer bomb is not serious. If they really wanted to build something, then they would be speaking about becoming engineers. They can be civil engineers and build bridges, roads, tunnels. They can be mechanical engineers and build machines, from cars to airplanes to dishwashers and washing machines, ovens and refrigerators. The Amana colonies, for an example, home of Whirlpool and I believe Maytag as well, they have been around and quietly living in Iowa since their German ancestors migrated from Europe in the mid-19th century. These new migrants at the time went on to create their heaven on earth, their utopia, and they lived in the middle of Iowa as a commune until about 1932. This same Amana colonies, these several villages, they are operating a global business from their humble abodes in the middle of Iowa. Building up a community is not that difficult of a task to do. That's if the Dusties actually want to do it. And therein lies the issue. They do not want a community. Because if they did, there would have been one by now. Long before now. Not to mention that this is the land of opportunity. And STEM fields are in dire need of qualified people. And rather than do like the people of the groups that he named, who have taken advantage of the vast amount of opportunities available to them, what the Dusties did was that they sat around milking the women of resources. Instead of investing the time and showing the discipline and doing the sacrifice that they needed to do to get what they want, they resorted to scheming. And this is why he's scamming. This is why he said that he would rather go for the trash industry. It's a low barrier of entry, and it does not require the level of legal responsibility as an engineer or an architect or a doctor or a construction company or a pharmaceutical company. Then to add to it, he did not provide any information on how to use their supposed domination of the trash industry in order to solve some of the issues that the world is facing, such as the microplastic pollution, or how to use landfills as a type of mine for resources. No, it's in the context of domination and control, and to give African American women the right to brag about their quote-unquote men controlling the trash industry. You can't make this up. Trash, really? Trash, oh my God. And when you talk about other parts of the world, it's the poor, the uneducated, the lower class, or depending on where you're talking about, the lower caste people who pick up the trash. And that's what you want to be associated. No foresight, no forethought, no idea. I mean, he's on the entire World Wide Web making this up. Now, let me pause and say that from my perspective, any honest job or business is fine. I don't look down on people who earn an honest living. You understand? So that I'm not coming from the angle of looking down on these people. I'm just simply giving a perspective of how it appears in general outside of myself from a global perspective. And this is someone, this sewer bum and his ilk. These are people who have the opportunity to figure out something like cold fusion to power the world for an eternity. And instead of focusing on things like that, prefers to punch in and punch out on a clock. You see, this is part of the reason why black women swirled and divested away from them. This is why they are getting kicked out of Brazil. And the Philippines is making them pay child support. And now the pygmies have turned ratchet on them. They can discover cures for all of the STIs that they pass around. They have the potential to do that. They have the potential to find the cure for the monkeypox. But rather than do that, they'd rather hang out around a dump. This is why Blackistan looks like a dump. Trash strewn about everywhere. That's all I have to say for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Take care until next time.